A well-known beauty brand was preparing to launch a new premium fragrance. Before the campaign went live, the team needed to choose the strongest hero image from 5 candidates for the product's e-commerce listing. To make the decision, they first commissioned a traditional consumer study. At a cost of roughly $14,000, the study exposed 238 consumers to all 5 options. The result was clear. Image 1 ranked first in click-through rate, while Image 5 ranked last. But the brand still had doubts. The click-through numbers felt unusually high compared with their own benchmarks, so the team questioned whether the result might have been influenced by the platform's sample selection. So they ran the same task through Atypica. The conclusion was the same, but the cost was not, and neither was the level of confidence. The 5 candidate images were Image 1, Rose plus Petal Atmosphere; Image 2, Full Rose Atmosphere; Image 3, Handheld Product; Image 4, Rose Scene with Depth; Image 5, Cherry Blossom Garden. The team uploaded all 5 images into Atypica and provided the project background, target audience profile, gender, interests, and other relevant inputs. Atypica then evaluated each image against that audience profile. Importantly, it did not simply score the images at face value. It first clarified missing details that were not fully specified in the prompt. It also searched for relevant contextual information and generated a research plan covering 3 parts: research intent, methodology, and expected outcomes. To structure the evaluation, Atypica introduced a professional analyst lens and broke the assessment into 4 dimensions: attention, interest, desire, and action. It also recommended using a focus group-style discussion format, since image preference is often shaped not just by individual taste but by comparison, friction, and group reaction. Based on this framework, Atypica selected 10 personas from its existing persona library to simulate a focus group. These personas represented women across different age groups, industries, and income levels, while still staying within the beauty brand's target consumer definition. Then, to better reflect platform-specific shopping behavior, Atypica built 5 additional personas tailored to this particular project. These personas captured more granular decision-making patterns and consumer psychology, including the rational utility-driven buyer, the impulse-driven mood buyer, the picky minimalist, and the consumer with stronger artistic or aesthetic standards. Across these persona discussions, Atypica identified both shared patterns and meaningful differences. All of that was synthesized into the final report. After laying out the research background and methodology, the report distilled the findings into 3 key insights. First, more flowers do not automatically create more romance. In some cases, an excessive number of petals can actually make the image feel cheap, reducing the consumer's perception of quality and brand refinement. The product image therefore needs to strike a balance between emotional triggering and value signaling, or use different visual languages for different functions. Second, the product's visual cues need to be designed carefully to avoid misleading the consumer. In this case, Image 5, the cherry blossom scene, introduced a clear risk of confusion. The brand itself is known for a Chinese-style aesthetic, so this visual direction created friction with the broader brand positioning and could undermine trust. Atypica's analysis suggested that the scene must remain consistent with the fragrance concept and naming cues. Otherwise, the problem is not only one of brand mismatch, it can also increase the risk of disappointment and even returns. Third, there is no single universally perfect image. The role of each image depends on the consumer's attention path. From Atypica's perspective, the 5 uploaded images should not be treated as 5 equivalent competitors for one slot. Instead, they should serve different purposes across the product page. Image 1 was recommended as the hero image. Image 2 worked better as a supporting carousel image. Images 3 and 4 could serve as backup or secondary assets. Image 5, because of its design misalignment with both brand and product, was recommended for elimination. In the end, through a relatively simple interaction, Atypica reached the same core conclusion as the traditional consumer study costing $14,000. But for the brand analyst, Atypica's conclusion felt more credible. Why? Because simulated consumer research does not over-index on one audience segment unless explicitly instructed to do so. In contrast with external panel-based testing, it is often difficult to fully verify how the participants were selected and whether the sample truly matches the brand's target audience. With simulation, the cost is dramatically lower, while the depth of analysis is often higher. The team can re-engage with the personas, probe the reasoning behind each preference, and build a much clearer understanding not just of which image to choose, but of why it should be chosen and what actions should follow next.